I already have my guest seated for us to take a look into exploring opportunities of investing in a challenging economic environment, just like we're facing right now in Nigeria. A lot has been happening lately, from inflation rate to exchange rate, Naira crunch, everything that has been happening. But I have two experts. They are both entrepreneur. One is actually a real estate coach and business manager, while the other person here seated is an agro expert and a beekeeper. My immediate left, I have Kelly Eriamatoy. Good afternoon, Kelly.
Good afternoon,
Good
Mr.
to have you.
Lawrence.
Good to have you on the show.
Thank you very much.
All right. I have Precious Waifu. Good afternoon, Precious.
Good afternoon. Thank you very much.
Okay. Now, I want to actually take a critical look about investment. As entrepreneurs that the both of you are, and you being into real estate and you being an agripreneur. Now let's look at how we can provide an overview first to the current economic challenges, how to invest. What can one really do the way the country stands right now for investment? If you can give us a headway to that, Kelly.
Okay, if I heard you correctly, what can we really do when it comes to investment? Well, investment is a very, very broad subject.
Okay.
It all depends on what you want to invest in. You know, for me, since I'm in the real estate field and I know the benefit of doing real estate, I usually advise people to invest in real estate.
Okay.
The main people usually feel it's when you want to build a house that you should buy land.
Okay.
Many people don't know that there are hidden riches in land. You understand?
Okay.
Many persons are wealthy today. Why are they wealthy? What is sustaining their wealth? Is real estate.
Okay.
Many people, they'll just buy land and keep. You would think they don't know what they are doing. While their mates are buying cars, living flashy life, trying to impress people, they just buy one land in one area and keep. You won't even know they have those properties there. But at the time you know they have properties, that property that they bought maybe 500K, 300, those are investments, is now worth over 10 million naira as the case may be.
Years to come.
You understand? So I would advise people, I would advise young people out there, even elderly persons, to old people, they should invest this period. Okay. Even if you are not investing in landed properties, get assets.
Okay.
What you know can stand the test of time. I believe the best time to even have investment is during inflation period, when things are high.
Just like what we're facing right now.
Exactly. You know, when things are high now, standard of living has increased.
Of course.
There are some persons that, let me come to land again, I'm sorry, because that's my field, you know. There are some people that may have property and be like, let me quickly sell this property so I can get money to do this particular thing.
Sure.
You that you have money you have kept aside, it's good you bring out that money, and that's the best time to invest.
Okay.
In real estate, we call it distresses, but you have to be wise though. Okay. Not all distresses are distresses. Okay. You invest, you get that property at a particular time. Then you resell when the value is high.
When the value is high. Okay. Precious, as an agro expert, a certified beekeeper, I was asked I will start by asking you, how does it feel to be a beekeeper? Because when we hear bee, we know what comes to mind. That somebody will tell you when bee sights you, you will know that life is deep. As a beekeeper first, let me start with that. How do you cope with that environment, like being an agro expert and a beekeeper, before you take your turn on that question?
Okay.
How to leverage on investment?
All right. Thank you very much. Being a beekeeper is as simple as we having this interview.
Okay.
Because, no, it's true, because we are trained personnel.
Okay.
For you to, bring us together here to do this interview here today, you are a trained personnel.
Absolutely.
And of course, we don't go into the wide with our bodies open.
Okay, just like me that is not trained in that field.
In that field, anyway, the question you're asking is more or less like a consultancy question. But for the sake of our viewers, I will have to let the cat out of the bag.
Okay.
Now, being a beekeeper is very simple. Like I said, you have to be trained. You understand? Yeah. I like it when you use the word certified.
Okay.
You understand? So we were trained, and we were certified.
Okay.
Then we also were given an opportunity to practicalize what we have been trained on.
Okay.
So when we go to the field, there's a protective jacket that we wear.
Okay.
So of course, when you go to the field, there's you can get sting sometimes.
Yeah.
And let me even surprise you. A sting from a bee is medicinal to the body.
Are you serious?
At least 1 or 2 stings from bee is medicinal to the body.
Okay.
It helps in management of arthritis. It is very, very good.
Wow.
But when it becomes too much, that's when you have the effect. You understand? So it's actually medicinal. 1 or 2 stings is very, very medicinal. So we were trained, like I said, we wear a protective cover to our apiary. We call it apiary. So it's simple.
Okay.
It's simple. It's very simple.
All right. Now to the question: leveraging the opportunities of investing in a hard time like this. How do you advise people to get into investment with the way the economy is currently?
Okay. As an agri expert,
Yeah.
we were told that we are not supposed to like invest all our money in a particular venture.
Okay.
And that is why you have to spread your tentacles. Now, this is a challenging time.
Okay.
Of course, we know that some businesses are even,
crumbling right now. Crumbling. Yes, exactly.
When you have a 3-bedroom flat, you have what we call taps outlets. You have about 3 or 4 tap outlets.
Okay.
Where if you open this one, if it's not rushing, you go to the other one. Okay. Definitely, all of them cannot be faulty at the same time. So at this time, when you are investing, you don't lay your eggs in one basket. You spread your tentacles, like I said.
Okay.
Now, when this business is folding up, this other one will come up as a shock absorber for the rest. Okay. Now, if you look at Dangote, Dangote is an investor. He is not focusing on cement alone. He is not focusing on flour alone. Now, recently, he has even gone into oil refinery. So you see, so if any sector or any aspect of his business crash,
another one will be there
to sustain it. So what am I trying to say? Let us spread our tentacles. Okay. That is the only way out.
All right.
So that's it. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Now, why is investment this economic hard time? Why should people really get strictly involved into investment this economic hard time? Would there be any possible gains with the way it's going? Because every day we see different economic downturns here and there. It's either we are coming out of recession and entering into inflation, or coming out of inflation and entering into naira against the dollar rise and all that. So why should people in this time? That's for you, Kenny. Okay,
just like you said, there are no times that things have not been hard.
Okay.
You understand? There's one thing I usually tell people.
Yeah.
The rich becomes rich because they maximize opportunities. But the poor remain poor because they keep on passing over opportunities repeatedly. Okay. They always want to make excuses. They blame the government that things are hard, that's why I cannot buy this. Things are hard, that's why I cannot do this. Yeah. Things are hard, that's why I'm business or not. Even at the way things are difficult for you is the same way things are difficult for people that are doing investments. Okay. Now, let's say 10 years still close. Let's say 20 years back. I believe there will be 2 people separately who had equal opportunities. Let's say they had equal opportunities to money. Let's say 500,000, the other one 500,000. Okay. One, because things are hard, uses the money, he wants to impress his friends. Absolutely. He wants to impress people that things are hard, it's only your pocket, it's not hard for me.
Yes.
And he buys things to impress others.
Yeah.
But the other ones, who is looking at the future, will decide to say, things are hard now, yes, I know, but definitely things will not remain the way
it is right now.
So the best thing is to invest. Look, it could not be, I know I'm talking about real estate.
Yeah, it may not be real estate. It
could be a business venture.
Yeah.
Probably he has a skill, which knows that skill in 5 years' time, 10 years' time, will be, how will I put it, will be on a very, very high demand. What will we do? We invest in that skill. It could be in upgrading the skill, opening a shop, relocating to a different place that the skill will be more needed. So you invest in that. And in a few years' time, the person start making good profit from it. Yeah. Even in the hard economy, the person was still able to invest. So my advice is this: no matter how difficult things are, always have a percentage from your income that you keep for investment. Okay. You understand? Yeah. As you are getting income, you keep the part for your enjoyment aside,
Yeah.
because that one is still important.
Of
You will
course,
not say
it's
because you
important.
want to invest, you should not eat.
You will not eat.
Keep it.
Because it's the person that is
Exactly.
alive that will definitely invest.
Exactly.
The dead cannot invest.
So you, after you have kept your enjoyment money, make sure your investment money, nothing touches it.
Absolutely.
You understand? Even if some people may say I'm wicked, but what I want to say, that even if somebody is dying in your front, best you can sacrifice some enjoyment money.
Yeah.
That
Not from the investment money.
Because you may bring up that money, the person may still lose his life.
May.
Tomorrow, that money you won't get it back.
That's true.
So always, if you are going to sacrifice any money,
Sacrifice
make sure
the enjoyment money.
always sacrifice the enjoyment money, because another one will come again. But that investment money, because the Bible says that the Lord gives seed to the sower and bread to the eater. So if you decide to eat your seed and eat your bread, while others are plucking their fruits from the seed,
you
they
just
planted,
be looking at them.
you will be an onlooker. You start saying God is not fair. You know why God is fair? Because He bringeth rain to both the poor and the rich.
Yeah.
So my advice is, no matter how difficult things are, make sure you have an investment. No matter how little the investment is.
Yes. All right, Precious, your take on that. I know you have something to say about that as well.
Okay. All right. The greatest risk in life is not to take a risk. I mean, we all left home this morning to go to our various place of work. That was a risk.
Absolutely.
So you wouldn't say that the economy is not working, for example, that you are not going to invest. You would have to invest. Because even though we know that the economic situation right now is very challenging.
Absolutely,
but
so
people
challenging.
are still cashing out.
Absolutely. A lot of persons are
People
cashing
are
out.
still making money and cashing out. So that does not mean that because everywhere is the way it is now, you will not invest.
True.
What you have to do is very simple. I said it before. You spread your tentacles. That's one. Then, at least if you have spent 25 years in this country, you should be able to study your society. You should understand your society. You should study the price stability.
Okay.
Price stability is very, very important.
Okay.
You have to study price stability. Then there's a need for mentoring. You understand? So there's need for mentoring.
So it means you cannot just dive into the business you don't have idea about.
No,
somebody should coach you and mentor
somebody
you.
should coach you along that line. You understand? Like, for example, I'm an agro expert. He is a real estate person. So you can, because everybody must not farm.
No.
That is why we are different here now.
Absolutely.
You understand? So if it is his line, you can meet him for mentoring. If it is my line, you can meet me for mentoring. So it all boils down to, you are not supposed to fold your hands because people are cashing out.
Absolutely.
Study your economy, study your society, understand what is going on. Carry out research. You understand? Because I'll make an example. There's one of my friend, he was, during, I think, every year, an individual, any right-thinking individual has a resolution. This is what I want to do.
Almost everybody does that every year.
Have plan every year.
Every year.
So this is it. So this guy actually planned of moving into his house first quarter of the year. Around February, price of bag of cement
increased, skyrocketed.
Building materials, all the building
went up.
Everything went up.
Okay.
But despite that, he needed to wait. Calculated the timing. Even though the price has a bit gone down now, but it's still on the higher side. But he was still able to navigate his way through. And he has moved into his house.
Wow.
So that's just the way it is. You have to study your society, check the price stability. Because for now, because the government cannot do everything.
No.
So we are not going to blame everything
on the government
and blame everything on dollar and naira. Now, at least the price now has balanced up a bit. But we have not started seeing the effect. But I believe,
exactly.
But I believe after some months, we can start seeing the effect.
Okay.
So, in other words, you are not supposed to remain where you are. Do something.
Okay.
Because if you don't move, nothing is going to move.
Absolutely.
That's it.
So you have to move for something to move.
Exactly.
You actually said, you concluded what you were saying before we went on that break. Now, let's move on next. Now, what are some of the industries, some of the businesses per se that one can actually leverage on with little or small capital? That's for you, Kelly.
All right. what are the businesses that one can...
Yeah, with little or small capital. Because a lot of persons actually, when they hear the mindset of starting a business, people have this mindset of you must have millions in your bank account or huge sum of thousands. Are there some kind of little businesses with little or small capital that one can actually start up with the way the situation of the economy is right now?
All right, I for one, I don't believe there's anything like small business or big business.
Okay.
It all depends on the mindset of the person that is running the business.
All right.
That's why you can see there are people that are selling sugar. They are still poor. While Dangote is selling sugar, it's making money.
But you wouldn't compare
No,
Dangote.
okay. I know what I'm saying.
Okay.
There are other big companies that are producing sugar too.
Yeah.
They are making money.
Okay.
But there are some people that are just in the one small corner. They are not really, they still look as if they are struggling.
Yeah.
There are people that are doing pure water business.
Yeah.
They are making big money from it. There are others that are doing it as if nothing is working.
Okay.
The same thing in our real estate business. There are some people that are doing real estate business. They've been in the industry for 10 years, 20 years now. It's as if you look at it's as if they are still struggling. Why there are some you look at, they've never even spent 1 to 5 years in the industry. You'll be like, these people, they are making
The
why?
one people will say they blow.
Yeah, exactly. Why is it like that? Why is it like it's because of the mindset? Now, if I'm going to advise you to invest in anything, invest your mind.
No, the mind should be the starting point for
Exactly.
investment.
And investing in mind will not cost you much. Just like my brother said, get mentors.
Okay.
Sometimes you may not have physical mentors. You can read their books.
Read their books, absolutely.
With the little 5,000 naira you are thinking of starting which business will I mention? Let's say an online business. And it's only your WhatsApp you are using. And people in your WhatsApp is your mother, your father.
For those that still have fathers.
And 5 people in your class.
Okay.
You understand that being your starter, you'll be posting, buy my product. Now, you have to go and study those that are doing online business. How are they doing it?
And how are they making it?
Exactly. Look at the top persons. You should be able to get at least 10 persons in that field. Invest when it comes to investments, don't just money. So we call time investment.
Absolutely.
Invest your time.
Yeah, invest your time.
Because when people hear investment, and they think it's
people
only
also
money,
invest
money,
advice
money.
as well.
Exactly. You can exactly something that as well.
Yeah.
You can invest your time, and take that time, study out people that are doing well in your field.
Yeah.
If they have books they've written, buy their books. The Bible said, buy knowledge,
get knowledge and get understanding and sell it now.
Exactly, sell it now, buy it. So you have to spend money to get it.
Absolutely.
You understand? That's the first step. That in investment. Then you look for like I've said, that is for your own line of business. Those that want to go into business entrepreneurship. Then, for instance, like us as a real estate company, we have opportunities for people to do small-scale investments. Okay. Like in January, we launched Buy Land with 200,000 naira. Okay. Now that is a medium that gave many people who could not afford the 100 by 100 half plots of property.
Let's not go there. It doesn't look like you're trying to do some promotions. Okay.
So what I'm trying to say is, when you see opportunities like this and it's something you like,
you buy it.
Grab it.
Oh, grab it.
It could be in other fields. Okay. Maybe some companies, they have something that you really wanted to buy, and this period is cheaper. Yeah. You go into it. You understand? So you can maximize all the investment, because a time will come, that particular thing about acquired, even the knowledge aspect.
The knowledge itself.
There's a time will come where what you have acquired, you can teach it to people and they'll pay you. There are people that do online courses.
Absolutely.
They don't do anything. All they do is online. I was surprised. Like they will say pay 2,000 naira. I entered one group chat, 2,000 naira for the class. And there are about 900 and something people on that group chat.
So when you calculate 2 times, when you calculate 2,000 times that number, you know what it is.
And the person will just all do is online ads, Instagram and Facebook ads, that will not cost him up to maybe 20,000 naira or 10,000 naira. And you get 900 people paying 2,000 naira for a class. How is he teaching them? He read. He invested in knowledge. Some persons this era, this digital era is an era whereby investment has become very easy. You don't need $1 million naira. Okay. Sometimes you don't even need 100,000 naira. Okay. With the little you have, invest in yourself. The first investment everyone should have is self-investment before any other. Before you talk about investing in business or investing in venture. Okay, Precious, your take on that as well, because I know you're longing to say something.
Thank you very much. Just like when you ask my colleague here, he talked about real estate. Yeah. So I'm also going to talk about my field, agriculture.
Which is agriculture.
Yeah, that's it.
You know, but when people hear agriculture, the mindset is you have to be dirty and crude.
Really.
Like you have to be wearing tattered clothes. I remember back then when we were in the village, I went to the farm. I did farm work with my late dad, and I knew how it was then.
Yeah.
You know, you go to the farm, you look so tattered and dirty when you come back. You know, people look at you somehow. So when you mention agriculture right now, people still have that mindset of the past kind of agriculture.
Yeah, I understand. Well, it's the way it is, but we have come into the system and we are going to change that narrative.
Okay.
And it is changing already, for at least for the viewers, you know, watching us today. So it is changing. I'm an Greek person, so...
And you're proud of it?
I'm very, very proud of it.
And it's not looking dirty.
It's not looking dirty.
Very, very proud of it. So now, back to the question. Like, you can actually, like I said before, all of us cannot be interested in agri.
Yeah.
You understand? You can, you know, you can take a subset of agri, because we have different stages in agriculture, different stages of processing. You can decide to, okay, be an off-taker.
Okay.
You know, you go to, like in Ogbese here, they produce a lot of plantain.
Yeah.
You can go there, you buy a lot. You understand? Even with your 500,000 or even with 100,000, you understand? At least let's assume that you have been able to save up 100,000 for example. You can go as far as Ogbese. You go to Ogbese, you get some bunch of plantain. You can, you know, peel it, you know, cut it into pieces, dry it up, and grind it
for the one for amala.
For the powder.
The flour.
For the flour.
That they use for amala.
You can even put your brand name. You can put your label.
Absolutely.
You package it and start selling.
Yeah.
See, when I was coming today, I was looking at, you know, we live in a society where if you can package red sand,
people will buy it.
And sell.
They will buy
people will buy it. Red sand.
Very true.
You package it, people will buy it.
Absolutely.
So you must not be involved in the production process. Or stage. You understand? You must not necessarily go to farm. And do the crude aspect of farming.
Okay.
You can sit there in your room, you understand, and be an off-taker. You collect from the farmers, you buy from the farmers. You understand? You be a middleman, buy from the farmers, and add value to it. That's what we call value added or value addition. You understand? You add value to it, and you start selling. You become a producer. You are the one. You are not producing flour. Now, let's even leave that aside. You know, when I finished service in 2016, you know, while my friends were still, you know, going around with files looking for a job, immediately I went to learn a skill, barbing. I'm a professional barber.
In addition to your agripreneur.
In addition to what I'm doing.
Wow.
I'm a professional
So
barber.
we can actually call you agric expert, beekeeper, barber. Yes. We'll just add up all of them together.
I can cut your hair very, very well.
Wow.
So when I learned the skill, then when I was learning the skill, you know, as a graduate, there was this pomposity.
There will always be that pomposity because you felt you're already a graduate.
What am I doing here?
What am I doing here? Yeah.
Well, on the long run, like
at the point you feel too bigger than your boss.
Too big. You understand? I could not. I was the least person that came to the shop, so I could not even get a broom because normally you're supposed to, since you are the last boy,
you'll be the one to always do those things.
When you look at the people you met, you like,
this one will not go school.
If not,
you know that mindset.
You understand? But it got to a point. While I was there, I didn't even know. I was learning.
Absolutely.
Like my colleague said, there's time investment. You understand? There's money investment.
Knowledge investment.
There's knowledge investment. At that moment, it was time and knowledge investment.
Absolutely.
I was learning this thing. But it got to a point, other guys, they left. Me, I was still thinking that before I finish learning it, other people will come, then I will get a job.
Yeah.
My brother, I learned her for 6 months, job not come on. So all those other guys, they've left. So when they left, so I was not the one managing
the place.
So already by then, I know how to barb already. So I was managing the place. So I was getting paid there.
Wow.
So after that time, I got a little paying job. You understand? It was not enough.
So more
but
like
I was
supporting.
Doing that. Exactly. I was doing that while I was doing the other one. So during weekend, I'll just go do put something
in your pocket.
You understand? Then at the end of the month, something will enter. So it was making sense.
That was like a smart move, you know.
It was a smart move. So that's just the way it is. So if you cannot, if you don't have a lot of money to start business, learn a skill. You understand? Because that's why we have Said in NYC.
Yeah,
you understand? They encourage skill.
Sorry, the funny part of that side, you know that when people go to that class, they say it's like a sleeping ground.
You know, it's like a sleeping ground because they don't know the life after service. You understand?
Absolutely.
When you have tested the life after service, you will know that it's not a sleeping ground.
It's not a sleeping ground.
You will know.
Okay.
So that's just the way it is. It is either you get a skill or you have a little money, do the one I told you about. Or you can even partner with anybody that you want to do any business with.
Okay.
For example, now I'm a beekeeper and I'm very, very proud of it. You can help me to market my products. If you are helping me in marketing my products, I will pay you.
Absolutely.
That's partnership. So while you are marketing the product, maybe one of these days I'm going to my farm, my apiary to go and harvest. I will call you along.
Let's go.
You are learning it.
That's a knowledge you're going to gain.
That's a knowledge. And for some of us that have parents who have this banga farm, that's a plus. Your banga farm can still be doing well while you have your apiary in your banga farm. And bee is an agent of pollinator. Your pollination rather, you understand? Bee pollinates flowers. Wow. And when you put apiary in a banga farm, oil palm plantation, it will improve the productivity of oil palm fruits, I think with 18%. Yes, because bees, they play around with the flowers. So you understand? So you don't necessarily have to, it's not necessary that you have money to start up a business. Okay. If you have a farm, you have land and all that, it's just for you to think. Because if you don't think, you will stink.
Wow, that's deep. If you don't think, you will stink.
So okay, that's it.
All right, let's move on to the next question. Now, how can individual and business mitigate against risk associated with investing in a volatile economy like Nigeria? Kelly.
Okay, this one you're always asking me first.
Because you're closer to me.
Well, there's no problem. I think this was the setup. Anyways, now, how can you mitigate risk?
Yeah. Because there are a whole lot of risk associated with whatever business you are into.
Just like my colleague said earlier, it's risky not to take
a risk.
Everything in life, you slept, you are sleeping,
it's a risk.
If you don't wake up,
yes, possible, that's true.
Everyone awake, you enter the vehicle. What if the driver is having family problem, you cannot think straight, next thing accident, it's a risk.
That's true.
Come here today, it's also a risk.
Even sitting here right now,
it's a risk. You understand?
Well, the studio is not risky, the studio is safe by God's grace.
So when it comes to investment, people should not be scared.
Okay.
You understand? Now, how can you mitigate risk? The first is invest in knowledge. Because how can you go into something you don't know? The Bible says someone that is about to build the house, first of all, know the cost.
Do background check and know the cost and know what it's going to cost before you go into it.
Don't say not that you go and build the house now and then there will be an issue later on. So first of all, you have to invest in knowledge. Know what it will cost or know what that field you are about to invest in requires. You understand? Not like you start a business. Maybe you have learned a skill now. You only learned the skill. You didn't learn management.
Management of the skill.
You know, there's one thing about
learning
having
it is one thing. Having the management concept is another thing.
Then another thing is you have to know how to market what you have. Like my colleague was talking about value addition. It's not just enough. You can have someone usually say a good product will market itself, but it's a lie. A good product will not market itself if it doesn't have someone who can market it. You have to be a good market. For instance, like my colleague said, he can barb. If you didn't say it now, I wouldn't know. You understand? So you have to know how to market what you have. So people will know, like, yes, this is what. So first thing, you have to learn about what you are going into. Secondly, know how to market what you are about to go into. Understand. It's what we call product knowledge. Understand it. Like our properties now, before we go out there to market, after we've acquired, look at the landmarks. You know, look at the closest landmarks around there. Look at the infrastructures around there. It's where people would like to live in. So that by the time people are coming there to invest, to acquire properties, we'll make sure that these people, they will get good return on investment. Or the purpose of which they are buying is actualized. Most time when people come in on to get property, the first question I ask them is, what is the purpose of which you are buying this property? So they will not. Yes. Every company needs money to function. But they shouldn't look as if it's money that we are pursuing. Because when you start pursuing money, you tend to lose focus of your vision. And you're pursuing money. Sometimes you may even wrong a client. You will not know.
That's true.
You will go and sell a wrong product to a client. I mean, while the client is supposed to get another product. But because you are pursuing money, you may not even get it. Many people that pursue money sometimes end up not getting money. You know, we were doing the training this morning, and part of the things we're teaching them is what really is money.
Yeah.
People feel money is just this
the paper, the legal tender.
currency. Money is more than that. If all you have, one of my mentors usually say, if all you have is money, then you are truly poor. If all you have is money,
but we seem to be
you
now
are
be
poor.
living in a society where people think if you don't have the paper, which is the legal tender, it means nobody
That
you
is
don't have a
what-
value.
That is what, sorry to say, that is what the government have made us to feel like.
That is what
by
it is.
bringing in school. Let me not digress into this much
Okay.
because
Yeah.
it is what they've made us feel that is what money is. But money
Yes.
is more than that.
Okay.
Money is what you have to offer to people that people can pay you
Pay
for.
okay.
If you don't have anything to give people, then you don't have money.
Okay.
Because someone can dash you 100,000, 1 million naira now.
And if you don't
And that
use
1
it
million
well,
naira, if you don't use it well, that
before
1
you
million
know,
can turn
can
to
go to
1,000
naira.
naira.
Absolutely
That's why I
true.
say
That's true.
people are there as a man now. Today. They
I like
pick
they call
one big
themselves.
money.
Yeah.
They can pick 10 million naira, 20 million naira. Just what? Give them 1 year is even too much. Sometimes 3 months. But they will be the one to
It's
ask
gone
for them
back to
2K.
zero.
I have friends that were doing well before now. Sometimes they come to me for urgent 2,000 naira, 105,000. These people were people that I used to look up to, like, I want to have money like this. But now,
Yeah.
you understand what
Now
happens?
look as if
is-
you are not the one they are not looking
exactly. What happens? They don't have this management skill.
Management skill.
So you have to know how to
So
manage.
management itself is a skill on its own.
It's a skill, though. I studied education management, but in there we learned about management.
Yeah, generally.
Generally, you understand. You have to know how to manage what you're about to invest in. If you don't know how to manage it, you will lose it.
Okay.
You understand? The Bible says, I love referring to scripture very well. By wisdom, the house is built,
Yeah.
but understanding is what keeps the house.
Okay.
If you don't understand what you want to go into, because wisdom is applying the knowledge you have
Absolutely,
applied
you
it
already
already.
have.
If you don't have understanding of that thing, it will diminish.
Okay, let's start wrapping up. We have less than 5 minutes to wrap up right now. Now, are there any government policies or initiative aimed at encouraging investment in Nigeria? Do you think like that there are any government policies that will really help investments to grow? From your own perspective, Precious, do you
Okay.
think there are initiative, whether federal, the state, or the local government per se?
Okay, in the previous administration
Yeah.
by President Muhammadu Buhari, you know, there was a shutdown in border.
Yeah,
And
they
he did
locked
that.
the
Yeah,
borders.
they locked the border. He did that to encourage
Local
production.
production.
You understand? And I think to an extent that was effective. That was what gave birth to me. You understand? Because
Wow.
when I saw, so when I saw that the borders are shut down, because what I was seeing before, when I go to supermarket, I see honeys in jar bottles, and when I go through the inscription, I see that most of this honey they import
Imported.
them. You understand? So, and meanwhile, there was already a platform that was calling for beekeeping training. So when I saw those kind of stuffs, so I just said, okay, let me go into this thing and let me see. So when I went to it, it was nice. And funny enough, when I go for harvesting, before I get home, my product is finished.
Wow.
Why? Because
On the road, you're selling.
the capacity is not. I'm still
Okay,
trying to
it's
enlarge
large.
the
Okay.
capacity. That's one.
Yeah.
Then two, because they know that what I'm offering is original. That is why before I get home, would have even paid for everything.
Everything.
You understand? So that's one policy that gave birth to me. So for some of these policies. They worked. And this initiative, I don't know how CBN governor is Cardoso. I don't know how he's doing
Yemi
this.
Cardoso.
Yes, I don't know how he's doing this dollar to. So the
Naira
initiative
exchange rate
exactly.
coming down.
So it's coming down.
But sorry to cut you. But the
Okay.
problem is the naira it's winning against the dollar. But the prices of goods remains the same.
It remains the same because I feel that first and foremost, we need to even check inwards. I was in market 2 days ago. You know, a lady was telling me that I went to, why are they find money where I want borrow now? Because sometimes if I go market, go buy plenty products, put for my shop. If price increase,
You know
I
if you
go
sell
sell.
am.
No, I go sell with the present price. So I go make times
More gain.
More gain.
That's what we're talking about.
So one of the problem is actually not the government.
not the government, exactly.
Do you understand? Some of the problem is coming from us.
Us.
So we are exploiting ourselves.
Okay.
You understand? It's just like when those people were eating themselves in the Bible. Then
yeah.
it is what is playing out. You understand? Okay, look at when they increase bag of Smith. Okay, now you buy.
You had
want
an
to
old
make
stock. You want
you
to
had
make
an old stock.
more extra
You want
gains.
to make extra gain.
Yeah.
So sometimes we don't even look at it. Is not even the policy. Sometimes these policies, they are working.
Okay.
But what about we
At the grassroots.
at the grassroots? What are we doing?
Okay.
You understand? So those are some of the problems. But I believe with this naira to dollar, I think maybe a few months from now we can start seeing the effect.
Okay.
Yeah, we can start seeing the
Wrapping
effect.
up, Kelly,
So that's it.
do you think there will be a headway to this whole exchange rate between the naira and the dollar? From your own perspective, do you see a more win of the naira against the dollar in days to come?
Whether
Yes.
there's a more win to dollar and naira, that one should not determine whether people are going to
invest
have
or not.
investment or not.
Okay.
But for those that are planning to invest in foreign, for those that are planning to invest in exportation,
Okay.
it will have more advantage if
The naira wins against the dollar.
Exactly.
Okay.
I mean, if naira loses value,
If the dollar wins against
Exactly,
the
they
naira,
will
but
have
we
more
don't want the
advantage.
dollar to win against the naira because our official currency is the naira.
hopefully,
Okay.
we believe naira will win over the dollar. But naira, there's no since naira started, since dollar started winning against
the
naira,
naira.
there have never been a time that naira and dollar
Have the
had
same equal value
So
in terms of
what
currency.
if you are seeking for my advice to the public is this: don't hope that naira will come down more than the way it is. Even if it's going to come down more than the way it is, don't wait.
Okay. All right.
Now is the best time to invest.
Okay.
And have good investment.
We have to go now. I really want to thank you for your time. I want to thank you for joining me on the show this beautiful afternoon to have a good and a healthy discussion about exploring opportunities in a challenging economy. Thank you, Kelly, for coming on the show, and thank you, Precious, for coming on the show.
Thank you very much.
That's the size of our package on the show this afternoon. It's been a great time being with you, looking at ways at which you can actually invest, even in a challenging economy. I'll be back again next week, God willing, to take you through on the show. On behalf of the entire team, those behind cameras, we appreciate your time for joining us this afternoon. I'm Lawrence Osifo saying see you again. Bye for now.